Welcome back to HD Travel Insight. The journey to discover the world's most extraordinary places continues. Every journey unfolds a new story. Some places challenge your courage. Some make all the rules seem to no longer apply. And today, we will continue to explore another wonder that pushes both nature and humanity beyond imagination. Mount Huashan Plank Walk, Shaanxi. You are standing at the edge of the abyss on Mount Huashan province. 2,100 meters below your feet, only nothingness. Welcome to the Plank Walk, the plank road of death. No handrails, no paved path, only rotting wooden planks loosely attached to the sheer cliff face. You have only a rusty iron chain to hold onto for your very life. Take a step. The wood creaks and groans. Your heart tightens. The wind howls between the limestone peaks, trying to push you off the cliff. Every breath right now becomes a luxury. You clench your hands soaked in cold sweat, your knuckles turning white. Just one misstep, one loss of balance, and you will plunge straight into eternity. This is not sightseeing. This is a battle of wits with death. Do you dare to take another step or collapse right here? The Hanging Temple, Shanxi. You look up at the cliff of Mount Heng. A 1,500 years old ancient temple is glued tightly to the sheer cliff face. No foundations, no solid pillars. This is the Hanging Temple, Shuangta Temple. A paradox of gravity at a height of 75 meters. Located in Shaanxi province. You step onto the wooden stairs. Aged. Shaking. Through the gaps between the planks, the deep abyss below seems to be staring right back at you. Every step you take is like a hammer blow pounding against the silence of Mount Heng's cliffs. The wind howling through the rock crevices shrieks in gusts as if trying to topple this structure. Even though it is secure by wooden beams driven deep into the mountain, looking at that precariousness, your instincts just want to run away. You stand suspended in midair where death and faith are separated by merely a handbreadth of wood. This structure is not just a temple. It is the craziest challenge humanity has ever thrown at nature. Panlong Ancient Road, the Waqia Highway, Xinjiang. You are at the wheel in the Kashgar region, Xinjiang Autonomous Region. Ahead of you lies the Panlong Road. 47 miles of asphalt. But this is not just a road, this is a grey dragon winding fiercely across the desert. 600 hairpin turns, 180-degree, even 270-degree loops following one another without end. The world around you begins to spin rapidly. Every turn of the steering wheel is a gamble against inertia. Your car tilts tires, squeal on the scorching asphalt, and the deep abyss right next to the wheel edge is ready to swallow any mistake. Locals have a saying, "Conquer these turns and your life will be smooth sailing." But right now, looking at the dashboard counting down the turns, you don't see poetry. You only feel dizziness. Concentration becomes your only lifeline. In just a fraction of a second of distraction, this stone dragon will strike back without mercy. You hold the wheel, holding your breath. 22 miles of the most terrifying stretch. Crossing the final turn, looking back at the stacked concrete maze behind you, don't feel a sense of victory. You only feel a shiver, knowing you just survived a moment of sheer madness. Atule'er Cliff Village, Sichuan. Think you've experienced enough fear? Look up at the mountain peak in Zhaozhou County, Sichuan Province. Welcome to Atule'er, the Cliff Village. For many years, the villagers here were completely isolated. To reach the ground below, they had to spend over an hour climbing down rotting wooden ladders, clinging to an 800-meter-high cliff. Hands gripping each rung tightly, backs drenched in sweat, eyes not daring to look down at the abyss below. A single slip meant a tragic end. Later, steel ladders replaced the wooden ones, but the precariousness remains. Watching children wearing backpacks climb endlessly for 60 minutes every day, just to get to school, you will realize that life here is by no means peaceful. It is a quiet sacrifice suspended in mid-air. You are watching this journey through a screen while they have lived there for generations. If you had to choose a place to test your courage, would you dare to set foot in Atule'er, even once? Leave a comment to let me know. Qarhan Salt Lake, Qinghai. Do you think highways are made of asphalt? Forget about that. Welcome to Qarhan Salt Lake, Qinghai Province. Here, the road you are driving on is not concrete. It is salt. This is the 10,000 Jiang Salt Bridge. A 20-mile-long road, hard as steel, stretching over a salt layer 50 to 60 feet thick. Don't let the word bridge fool you. This is an industrial feat. Every day, tons of goods, heavy trucks, and even train tracks roar across the pure salt foundation. Look out the window. The lake surface reflects the blue sky like a giant mirror, blurring all boundaries between reality and illusion. 50 billion tons of salt lie directly beneath your feet. Industrialization at its most extreme level, yet hauntingly beautiful. The craziest part, if the road breaks, they don't need complex repairs. They simply pour more salt and brine, then let the trucks driving over compress it into a new road surface. This world still has so many surreal things. Are you overwhelmed by views like this? Would you like to drive on this giant mirror just once? The Panlong Interchange, Huangjuewan Interchange, Chongqing. Never trust GPS when you come to Chongqing. Just miss a turn, and you might have to drive for dozens of minutes to find your way back. That is the Huangjuewan Interchange. An interchange consisting of 5 levels, nearly 20 lanes, and connecting to 8 different directions. Seen from above, it doesn't look like a road. It looks like a giant concrete maze where thousands of cars weave through overlapping spirals. But Huangjuewan was by no means designed randomly. It is the solution to Chongqing's unique terrain, the city known as the 8D Kingdom. The roads do not just run horizontally. They also climb slopes, pierce through mountains, and stack in multiple tiers. Even the 10th floor of a building can connect directly to the street level. At first glance, everything looks like a complete mess. But the more you observe, the more you realize this is one of China's boldest transport engineering marvels, where technology forced the terrain to yield. How about you? If you had to drive through this place yourself, would you trust your GPS? Or trust your own intuition? Share your answer in the comments section below. And Huanglong Scenic Area, Sichuan. At first glance, I thought someone had color-edited this photo. No body of water could possibly bear so many colors like that. But then I took a few more steps. The water's surface changed color again. Emerald green, deep azure, golden yellow. Under the sunlight, the entire valley seemed to be in motion. That feeling was unbelievably beautiful. This is Huanglong, a scenic area situated at an altitude of nearly 4,000 meters in Sichuan province. Over 3,000 small mineral pools were formed over thousands of years as calcium-rich waters quietly deposited layer upon layer of limestone. Seen from above, the whole valley winds like a giant golden dragon, which is also the origin of the name Huanglong. But to admire that masterpiece, you must pay a price that is by no means small. After walking just a few dozen meters, I already felt my breath growing heavy. My heart beat faster. Every incline forced me to stop and catch my breath. Around me, quite a few tourists had to use portable oxygen canisters, while others could only stand still for a few minutes before continuing their journey. It is a place you must conquer yourself to truly feel its beauty. Leshan Giant Buddha, Sichuan. I tilted my head up, then tilted it even further. It took a few seconds for my eyes to reach the face of the statue. That is the Leshan Giant Buddha. "71 meters tall, carved directly into the red cliff face, starting from the 8th century. The head alone is nearly 15 meters long, and the ears are as tall as 7 meters. Standing at the foot of the statue, humans suddenly feel strangely tiny. The roaring sound of the river echoes below, while the statue continues to quietly gaze down at the flow for over 1,300 years. But this place was not created just to be admired. Back in those days, the Min River was infamous for being treacherous. Boats were constantly swallowed by the whirlpools. Monk Hai Tong believed that only a structure grand enough could bring faith back to the people. And so decades of chiseling began. Massive blocks of stone kept falling into the riverbed, inadvertently changing the current and calming the dangerous undercurrents. It took them up to 90 years to complete pouring mountains of stone into the riverbed to soothe the whirlpools. What astonished me even more lay in the places no one could see. Hidden behind the hair collar and arms of the statue is a drainage system carved with extreme sophistication. For over 1,300 years, it has quietly channeled rainwater away, protecting the statue against time and nature. Standing before the Leshan Giant Buddha, I admire not only the faith of the ancients, I admire their wisdom. Because sometimes the greatest thing humanity leaves behind lies not in the size of a structure, but in a vision far-reaching enough for it to still stand firm after more than a millennium. Twin-Pagoda Mountain, Shuangta Mountain, Hebei. From a distance, I thought they were just two ordinary rock pillars. Then I looked up. Perched atop each sheer cliff pillar, rising 30 to 40 meters high, was an ancient brick tower. It wasn't just a small hut. They were two ancient blue brick pagodas, believed to have been built by the Khitan people during the Liao dynasty over 1,000 years ago. My initial reaction wasn't admiration, it was bewilderment. Locals call this place Shuangta Mountain, Twin-Pagoda Mountain, located in Chengde City, Hebei province. Two massive rock pillars soar into the sky as if defying gravity. Having endured storms, major earthquakes, and more than a millennium, These two brick towers still cling firmly to the smooth vertical stone peaks. Where even modern professional climbers would struggle to reach without specialized gear, leaving many visitors today believing this is an unexplained, mysterious feat of history. Maiji Mountain, Gansu. At first glance, it just looks like a giant block of rock. That is Maiji Mountain. Over 1,500 years ago, monks began carving caves into this cliff face, one by one. Today, this place houses nearly 200 caves, thousands of Buddha statues, and wooden walkways clinging tightly to the mountainside as if floating in mid-air. I walked slowly on the narrow wooden bridge. Each plank trembled slightly beneath my feet. On one side was the cliff face. On the other was a deep abyss. Just by looking down, you will understand why this place was never meant for those who are afraid of heights. What astonished me was not just the statues. There were no machines, only ropes, wooden scaffolding, and a determination strong enough to turn an almost inaccessible cliff face into one of China's greatest Buddhist art complexes. When leaving Maiji Mountain, what remained with me was not a feeling of fear. It was admiration. Because sometimes the greatest challenge is not conquering a mountain. It is leaving a legacy right on that very cliff. Mount Fanjingshan, Guizhou. At first I thought it was just a mountain peak amidst a sea of clouds. Then I looked closer. On top of that razor-sharp rock peak were two temples. They stand separated on two rock outcrops, just a deep gorge apart. Connected to each other by a stone bridge so small that from a distance it almost disappears into the clouds and sky. This is the Red Cloud's golden summit of Mount Fanjingshan, at an altitude of over 2,300 meters. Over 500 years ago, monks carried every single brick, every statue up to this peak, using sheer human strength. Then built two temples in a place where it seemed no one could ever set foot. I walked slowly across the stone bridge. The wind whipped fiercely from all sides. Clouds rolled beneath my feet. Just by looking down, the entire world seemed to vanish into a white void. Standing between the two temples, I suddenly realized there are places built not to make people look up, but to make them stop, be silent, and feel how small they are amidst the vast expanse of heaven and earth. If given the chance, would you dare to walk across that stone bridge to reach the peak of the clouds? Share your answer in the comments section. Yellow River Stone Forest, Gansu. Looking down from above, I thought I was gazing at another planet. No trees, no rivers, only countless red stone pillars, standing tall, stretching all the way to the horizon like a giant army turned to stone. That is the yellow riverstone forest, one of the most peculiar landscapes in Gansu province. I walked down into the canyon. The cliff walls gradually closed in. The light dimmed. The sound of wind blowing through the rock crevices created deep, drawn-out sounds like someone calling from far away. Just a few minutes later, I could no longer see the spot I had just walked past. Amidst a maze of stone dozens of meters high, direction almost completely lost its meaning. It is hard to believe that this place was once the bed of an ancient river. For millions of years, flash floods, strong winds, and relentless erosion have patiently carved layer upon layer of sandstone, leaving behind thousands of stone pillars with no two shapes alike. This is not a human creation. This is a masterpiece of time. Perhaps that is the most miraculous thing this place leaves behind. Gaoyiling, Hunan. Beneath my feet is a red rock ridge less than half a meter wide. On both sides are deep blue lakes, hundreds of meters below. Just looking down, my legs began to freeze. This is Gaoyiling, a geological wonder spanning over 20 square kilometers in Hunan province. Millions of years of water and wind erosion have carved the red sandstone blocks into ridges, sharp as knife blades, following one after another, amidst dozens of natural lakes. Seen from above, the entire land looks like red dragons slithering across the water surface. I kept walking. Wind whipped across the mountainside. The path ahead grew narrower and narrower. No handrails, no protective fences, only rock beneath my feet and empty space on both sides. Standing on the peak of Gaoyiling, I understood why this place is considered one of the most breathtaking scenic routes in China, and one that makes many people hesitate. There are places that leave you in awe, and then there is this place that leaves you too afraid to look down, yet completely unable to look away. Mogao Caves, Dunhuang, Gansu. I never expected humanity's greatest treasure to be hidden in one of the most unforgiving lands in Asia. Outside lies the arid Gobi Desert, where temperatures can swing by over 40 degrees Celsius between day and night. But just a few steps past the small stone door, an entirely different world unfolds. This is the Mogao Caves in Dunhuang. Along a cliff face, nearly 1.7 kilometers long, are 735 caves carved deep into the sandstone. Among them, 492 caves still preserve nearly 45,000 square meters of murals, over 2,000 Buddha statues, and the largest statue standing over 35 meters tall. Shades of red, blue, and gold remain vivid after more than 1,600 years, as though the artisans had just laid down their final brushstroke yesterday. What left me in awe was not just the beauty, it was where it exists. Amidst sand dust windstorms and caravans along the Silk Road, thousands of artisans quietly labored across centuries using natural minerals to paint one of the world's most monumental historical and Buddhist art archives. It is no coincidence that UNESCO recognized this site as a World Heritage Facility. Because Mogao does not merely preserve paintings, it preserves the memory of an entire civilization. In a desert that seems capable of burying everything, there are still values strong enough to endure for over a millennium. Tianshan Grand Canyon, Xinjiang. Two sheer red cliffs gradually close in, rising over 100 meters high, with sections just a few meters apart. Every step draws me deeper into a colossal stone corridor, where the sky seems reduced to nothing more than a thin sliver of light overhead. This is the Tianshan Grand Canyon in Xinjiang. A wonder spanning roughly 5.5 kilometers, created by millions of years of water and wind erosion. Layer upon layer of red sandstone has been carved, twisted, and stacked, revealing geological striations that have endured for hundreds of millions of years. No sound of traffic, no cities. Only the sound of the wind filtering through narrow rock crevices, producing deep, drawn-out sounds, as if the entire canyon itself were breathing. What overwhelmed me was not just the red hue of the rocks. It was their sheer scale. In a place like this, nature has no need to build skyscrapers. With just a few million years of patience, it created a structure that leaves people far more speechless than any wonder built by human hands. This world still holds countless wonders waiting to be discovered. Subscribe to HD Travel Insight and join us on our upcoming journeys.